Hey everybody, welcome to the Prime Forecast. My name is Bryce.
Chris.
Ross. Alex.
And today we got some hip-hop news for you, unlike last week. So let's get right into that.
Right.
Does anybody want to bring up something specifically that they brought up, that they want to talk about the most?
I was gonna troll, but I'm not gonna.
Oh.
Okay, don't troll.
I was gonna say something that wasn't hip hop news and be like, it's totally hip hop news.
So we do have a couple album releases. T-Pain's One Up album and 2 Chainz Rapper Go to the League album.
Yep.
Didn't he release that right after like the Masked Singer thing finale? T-Pain.
I don't know.
I think so. He
I
won
think it was
that.
yeah he won and then he released it like right after I think.
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, he won that Fox show.
The Masked Singer, huh?
Yeah, where they wear
Hey,
masks.
beat out Donny Osmond and Gladys Knight. So
That is insane.
That's
Wow.
actually pretty cool.
Wow, that is.
So congratulations to those two. I did not listen to either. 2 Chainz Rapper Go to the League, I think, came out yesterday, so I
Yeah,
haven't.
I listened to it today.
Oh, you did?
And yeah.
Go ahead, speak. Oh, Offset Father of 4 album. My bad.
Oh,
That was also released.
someone was making fun. Someone was making fun of 2 Chainz the other day, and I didn't know why. Now I know why. It's because he had an album.
Has that one, yeah. Like, I've
What'd you
been
think?
seeing him. I like the album. I listened to it today, and I haven't really been able to ingest much, but he had one track, or actually a couple E40s on it.
Ooh.
So I was like, immediately turn that 40 water up. But he started talking about, like, he has a song about taxes on there.
Wow.
And, like, saying that.
Does he say the line that there's only 3 things in life that are certain?
Oh, God.
Death, taxes, and
No.
whatever else it
No,
is.
he starts it. He's saying,
Women.
Uncle.
They're all certain to get women. That's not true.
Right? That's funny for most, right?
It's a little antiquated, but
Yeah, he just went on there and he was saying like how much tax that he was paying because he's rich. And then Diddy was like, I paid way more taxes than that. So he's just talking about how Uncle Sam is basically stealing money for like taxes, but not doing anything with it.
I mean, yeah, it depends on like the current, person in office and control.
Yeah.
That's currently the
I think-
Republicans control the Senate.
Yeah,
and
party, yeah.
Not the House though.
yep.
Demos took
But
the
the-
House. Libertarians.
the problem with
How
that
much
is-
do you control
problem with that
libertarians?
is-
That's right.
The problem with that is the Senate's the one that it has to go through, like, after it goes through the House, so good luck with that.
Yeah, but if bills don't make it through the House, then yeah.
Yeah.
But then the Republican Senate is going to be like you didn't approve our other shit. Fuck you. We're not
Yeah.
gonna.
It's
Anything
so
that goes to
dumb.
the House, the Senate's going to be like, nah.
So dumb.
Yep.
So dumb.
Well, at least they don't have free reign currently because the
Yeah,
Democrats control the
sure.
House. So there's checks and balances, actually, kind of like there
but I was
should
about to
be.
say kind of.
Yeah, kind of. So, do you think that this is 2 Chainz's best album?
No, I
Because
don't.
I heard that.
I don't. This album was definitely, it had a lot of vibes on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's like, it definitely tracks on there put you in a specific vibe. I do think that him branching out and trying to talk about something other than the cliche rap shit was cool. I like to see that in artists because that shows me that these artists are actually talking about shit that's happening in their lives currently. And I think that's cool, but also I wouldn't say it's his best shit. I like a lot of 2 Chainz, like Titty Boy mixtape shit over, a lot of the shit that he put out. Based on a True Story is a hard body of work to beat for 2 Chainz, so nah, definitely not his best, but good.
Did you hear about that LeBron James shit with the album?
What?
I think he's got like
Oh.
producing credits.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and 2 Chainz was like, yeah, he was in the studio turning knobs, and I'm like, who would do that? Like, why would you do that? Like,
LeBron James
LeBron
is cool.
Jones.
as a hip hop historian, that
Like,
is LeBron James,
he
according to LeBron James. I mean, he probably knows more than we do, or than I do.
Does he know more than Michael Rappaport, though?
No.
Michael
Michael Rappaport, did we forget to talk about that last week? The Meek Mills thing?
See, that's what I was just about to bring up. I was like, did you guys talk about
love
that?
Michael Rappaport even more, even though he apologized, which pisses me off.
Why
But-
does that piss you off?
Because he made some bold statements. He was like, Meek Mill is a trash rapper. The only reason he's back is because of all like the I'm just paraphrasing. I think he talked about the publicity or like Drake bigging him now.
Yeah.
And he's like, Drake killed him in 2018. Like, why is he back? Like, shit like that. Which is, I feel the same way. I'm not a Meek Mill fan. I don't get it. Championships, his features, it just tore him apart on that like entire album.
His own album.
Yeah.
Didn't he just perform at like the NBA All-Star game or some shit? Like
Yeah, because he's big right now.
Yeah, and
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, he's big right now because he had that
He had
that prison reform hype,
album.
which was his PR stunt to get back in the public eye after the Drake thing.
Okay.
Drake even bigged him up. They were like touring together. Drake's like, "This is my guy now," and it's like that's when we had that huge talk about fabricated beef.
Yep.
Like you don't do
Remember
beef
that.
that's like that, and then you're like, whenever the next person releases an album, you're like, we're best friends now. and then he did. Then he released Championships, which was overhyped in my personal opinion.
But it was
overhyped,
was
but good because of the whole prison reform thing. And Rappaport just spoke about that and said Meek Mill was a trash rapper.
I think Rappaport should be able to like say what he wants to and what he feels without having to apologize for that.
I mean, you can't say the truth.
I mean, yeah, speak your truth, live your truth.
Yeah,
you know
speak
what I
your
mean?
mind, sure.
But it's like Michael Rappaport. Like we had people caping for him hard, and he's definitely, I think, arguably one of the funniest people on the interwebs. You know what I mean? With that fucking cat video that he did.
He got shit for that too.
Yeah, looks like grandma the thing. Like the shit is hilarious. And he's like just a hilarious person that says some real shit, and it's like you have to really back him when he says real shit, whether you agree with it or not. Like just back the fact that he's speaking his truth.
And I mean, you know, like he's a shit talker, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
He is so like outgoing, like.
And I mean, if he has an opinion on rap, so be it. I mean, like his opinion's just as valid maybe as anyone else's. I don't know.
Right, and it's the same people that were caping for him when he did say something that they agreed with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, nah, let him speak his truth. That shit's funny, and he's supposed to be funny. That's what he does.
So, did anybody listen to any of the other albums? Offset, Father 4, T-Pain's One Up?
Offset. Oh, so you're saying he's putting out another album right quick to try to make up for the last one that was trash?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I heard that T-Pain was still using that auto-tune. Is that true?
I'm sure
I hope it is.
After he was on the Masked Singer, he was talking about how like people didn't like take him seriously and didn't think he was a good singer because he used auto-tune. And then all of a sudden people said he released an album and he was still using auto-tune.
It's hard to get out of, I think, that lane and that branding because
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, when you're good, people want to put you in this capsule that just keeps you forever good or whatever they view as good.
Stick to your lane. Do that.
Yeah, stay in your lane. Do this auto-tune shit.
Yeah.
Like, people don't don't like experimental
Don't use the sob
shit.
story to win a show then, though.
But did he use autotune for the show then, or was he just
No,
singing
he just sang normal.
a cappella, or is it just like...
There was music. But
Okay.
he
So
said-
it's like a...
So it's like American Idol, but for celebrities.
Famous
People with
kind
who have
of, but
money.
they hide who they are.
Okay.
That
He
is
beat
cool.
Gladys
And
Knight.
everybody who was guessing, somehow none of the judges knew it was him. And
And
I
you
was,
could guess.
I knew it the first time I heard him. I was like, seriously, I've heard him sing normal one time, and I was able to say, that's T-Pain.
Yeah.
That's T-Pain. Obviously fucking T-Pain.
Didn't he do that, like, Tiny Desk concert or whatever without auto-tune?
Yeah,
or
someone
something
was talking about that,
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that's...
They thought he was, what's that guy? Jamie Foxx and stuff like that.
Like,
Can you see the person? The
were
Masked
no-
Singer.
No, he was wearing
like
like a
a-
monster suit.
like a full costume.
That is actually funny as hell.
Yeah, like
that
that's-
is funny as hell.
Wow.
It's just a big old grimace.
Whoever...
Shawty had
I'll look the picture up for you.
jeans. I wonder who that could be.
Who thought of this?
He's saying this is how we do it as his last
Fox?
song. It was
Like-
pretty legit.
Some
Fox is
creator
like,
from
this will
American
be-
Idol.
This will
or
be
X
cool
Factor.
as shit. I just saw a meme online that was like, if you could bring back one of these careers, who would it be? And T-Pain was on that meme. And I was like, yo, like, I'd bring back T-Pain because I've been listening to a lot of his
There he is
Kendrick
in that
shit.
suit right there.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell.
That's
It's like a
very,
huge
like-
monster suit. Kind of looks like from Monster.
They were just
Inc.
guessing all these
Yeah,
people, and they're
something.
like, dude, this guy's short. He can't be those people because T-Pain's like 5'8" or something.
Oh shit! That game away, dude.
Yo, that's actually dope. I think the premise of that was very dope.
I do like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I'd probably watch it, but it's not something that I
It
would
wasn't too
ever.
bad. I
seek
only
out.
watched it as my parents watched it. So.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have. I'm one of those few people that don't have regular TV. I don't do that.
Well,
Cable,
that's it's no Alaskan
shit,
gold
like-
rush, right?
Oh god.
like, yeah.
Anderson Paak is announced a new album. We just got one from him last fall, didn't we?
Oxnard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if he blames Dre or something else again if this one doesn't pan out the way it should.
Yeah, I don't
Did
think
he have
Oxnard
Dre
was-
as a producer for the last one?
Dre mixed it like he sent it off to Dre after it was, and then Dre
Did some shit.
put the
to it.
finishing touches
Okay.
on it, I guess.
I don't like that dynamic. Because you listen to Malibu and it's well put together, the skits fit, the beats are dope.
At the end of the day, too, there are people in the industry where if they come to you and say, "Hey, give me this shit,"
I'll take it from you.
I'll take it. I'll make it better. Like if Ye came to
Oh, God.
back in the day, if Ye came to you, or Jay, or there are certain people that
Yeah.
you'd give
You would
them
be
your
honored to.
yeah,
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this person could do no wrong. Like
Yeah.
Pharrell wants to touch my album.
So let's say
Here.
let's say you're Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem approaches you and says, I will mix your album for you."
He would be like,
I would actually love to hear that.
Machine
I
Gun
would
Kelly
love
is
to
like,
hear
hey
that.
man,
Exactly.
if you got 25 grand, I'll
Like-
do it. Like, I'll sign you.
Genuine gonna work on some of your tracks. Like you don't
Like-
say no.
Yeah.
Genuine, what the fuck?
Man. I do that.
As a producer, Genuine's pretty fucking good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sleeping on Genuine. My bad.
Gotta-
Genuine.
The amount of Virginia in this conversation is definitely comforting. I like that. The
Is he-
Pharrell,
We didn't even bring up
Genuine,
Timbaland, dude.
Is it
I'll
like
have to bring up.
Virginia wine?
Virginia?
Oh my God.
That'd be dope.
Timbaland.
Just an
please
album with
report
like
to the
him, Trey
office.
Songz, Chris Brown's from Virginia too.
Well, don't bring up Chris.
Timbaland.
Chris Brown.
Timbaland can't do any wrong. That's true.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Can you
good.
talk about the time you met
Yeah,
Chris Brown?
he made them boots, right?
Okay, we can't talk about the time you met Chris Brown.
No,
Bleep that. Bleep that, Ross.
that's funny. Oh man. What's funny is like,
Do we need to bleep that though?
No, we don't need to bleep that. That's
I asked him about if he could talk about the time he met Chris Brown,
I don't think it's cool though.
It's not like outlandish or anything. Like
Yeah, but it's not
It's
cool
funny.
either.
It is
Yeah,
funny.
It is.
sometime maybe when Chris is
Yeah.
not embarrassed,
We'll
tell the
do
story.
that. We'll do that story on there too. That's funny.
Are you excited for an Anderson Paak album though? Like it'll probably come out sometime. If he announces an album, it's coming out like this year, right? Sometime this year.
You
If
think
it's like some-
Doesn't he
if
say
it's
something
like-
about touring too or something?
Yeah, it depends
If
on
it's
how
like
long that
Malibu
is.
or like some of his like singles from Oxnard, like it might be pretty solid. But
Okay.
Or the Breezy Lovejoy stuff that he did before he
Yep.
came out under the moniker Anderson Paak.
All right, so this one is to get you guys hyped. This next announcement, Wu-Tang Clan of the Wu-Tang Clan announces a 25th anniversary U.S. tour. One of the stops, Minneapolis.
so
Where in Minneapolis?
it's gotta be.
That doesn't matter.
That does because like
It's gonna be XL, right? No, what is it? What do we
XL's
have
in
now?
St.
Well,
Paul.
It could be XL or Target Center.
Target Center.
Target Field.
See, it's announced, but I don't think they have a.
Could be
no, they
US
got
Bank
it. I can
Stadium.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where the places are down there. I just know the places. Like I know there's First
If
Ave.
it's
There's
First
like
Ave-
They're filming.
there's the Armory.
Oh.
There's
The one,
Yeah.
the Snoop Dogg and Bone Thugs that I went to though was in a smaller venue.
There's the Varsity Theater. That's
probably.
like actually like a theater type thing.
It was.
I went
the
to,
I like
Mystic?
First Ave.
Is that one? Was that the one I went to for Bone Thugs and Snoop Dogg? The Mystic?
Was
Does
it-
that sound right?
Is that like Mystic Lake or
The
something?
casino?
Casino?
See, now I don't know.
Isn't that where you went to see Collective Soul though?
That was Mystic Lake.
Yeah, that was Mystic Lake. That was outdoors though. When they put us in those little fucking
That sounds
chairs
horrible.
outside.
Hey, we got free chairs, man.
The band that I went there to see, that I wanted to see, had the worst sound ever.
The sound quality. Yeah.
And then the fucking Goo Goo Dolls come on. It's
like-
crystal clarity.
John Resistance.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Jeez.
it was Collective Soul that I wanted to see.
Yep.
And
But
they
you
had
were
the
just-
worst sound ever. Like you couldn't even make out the guy.
The question is, did they play Iris?
They did play Iris. The Goo Goo Dolls.
That one drunk guy just yelling out every song, "Play Iris."
Play Iris.
The only reason anybody's here.
So I am super hyped for this Wu-Tang Clan concert. This is probably going to be $100 concert though.
The
per
thing
ticket.
is, but
Is
for
that
a-
expensive?
The thing is, all right,
Not
for
really.
$100 concert right now.
They also have
At
one
the-
in Chicago. That
How
we
many
At
of
the
the clan are going to
fairgrounds.
be there, though? That's the thing.
can, well,
It better be
not
full.
ODB.
Show full.
You know,
Well, no.
you know, are they only doing Wu-Tang stuff, or are they doing like solo stuff too mixed in? Or?
Usually, okay. So if it's the group of 9 people, they're probably going to need to take breaks like in between.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have like Method Man do his. Well, Method Man is on a Wu-Tang album.
Yeah,
So-
Method Man, all I
Yeah.
need.
He might do a solo thing.
The Rock
Who
Wilder.
They might have fucking Redman come out like touring with them,
As
and
long-
then they got the microphone checker singing Sword Lecture.
Whoa.
Like
As long as we get the Rock Wilder, I'm not.
exactly,
The thing
exactly,
is-
dude.
The thing is, though, for $100, though, you can also Soundset 2019. They just recently announced their lineup, and you got Lil Wayne, G-Eazy, Lil Uzi Vert, DMX,
Lil Wayne.
Prof.
DMX.
Run the Jewels is gonna be
Run the
there.
Oh fuck.
Doja Cat, Atmosphere, Black Star's gonna be there. Like
All right,
Atmosphere-
you had me at
Yeah,
DMX. But
Speaking
Like-
of
What else is there?
overhyped, though.
Black Star's gonna be there. Tech Nine, of course,
Royce,
again.
dude?
Royce the 5'9".
Speaking of
So, like-
overhyped, though, G-Eazy and Atmosphere. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
That's
they got-
wow,
you know they're
calm
gonna have
down,
Atmosphere
dude.
there.
You gotta rep Atmosphere. He's
it's
from
the
Minnesota,
Midwest.
dude.
It's the
well, why
Midwest
would you
kinda
rap
thing.
him when you could rap Brother Ali or something?
Yeah,
$80 each a ticket for
He's
36 chambers in Chicago
that's not bad.
at the
That's not bad.
Aragon Ballroom. Honestly, I don't know Chicago. It's not that far of a drive for us.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I'm
not
thinking.
at all.
If you wanted to
Wu-Tang
go,
Clan
Ross,
coming
is
in.
what I'm saying.
Chicago?
Beat Dolan's
This
there,
isn't
man.
until June.
That's about well.
That
from-
would be a
well,
state that doesn't touch our state. I haven't
Well,
been in one
from
of those.
Fargo, it's like a 9-hour drive. So from here, it'd probably be about a 6-hour drive. Wouldn't be too bad.
That wouldn't be
Yeah, it's like a 6-hour drive, and then we could go to the
Oh
Chicago.
no! You don't actually want to drive to Chicago though, because fuck parking there. So you'd want to fly in and then fly back out. Probably.
But if we can't fly in from our airport,
they used to do connecting flights. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah, we'd have
Maybe.
to check that because they fly
well,
to
okay,
Arizona and
we
Florida
got
a
until
lot from
June
us.
to figure this
Yeah.
out. Because me and Chris could motorcycle there,
But no,
and
like-
you guys could do whatever you wanted.
Fuck driving
You're
to
gonna trust,
Chicago.
You're gonna
Fool me
trust
once,
having a
shame on
motorcycle
me.
in Chicago? I don't think
I
you'll,
don't know.
you don't think
I
you'll
don't-
be there when you
I
try to
don't.
come
I
back.
don't. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I've never been there. I can't speak for Chicago.
I went to Chicago.
Is it bad? They have one of the best museums. That's why I want
It
to go.
depends
there.
where you.
They have that natural history museum.
They
where I
got
wanna
that
go.
No, you go.
They
You
got
go.
that-
You
they
go
got
to the
that
Field
pizza, too.
Museum and the Art Institute. The Art Institute was actually a pleasant surprise because they had a lot of like paintings you'd recognize.
That's
Oh, really?
cool. I would
That's
appreciate that. I do want to go to museums because I really like museums. They have the Chicago. I think it's called the Natural History Museum. It's one of
It's
the,
the Field
biggest
Museum.
ones. Field Museum, it's called. They have the lions from The Ghost in the Darkness.
Originally
Ross,
funded-
yeah, Ross knew what I was going to mention.
Originally funded by
I'm already
Marshall
there.
Field.
Wow.
Ghost in the Darkness is a great movie from back in the day about lions in Africa that were
man-eaters.
starving. Yeah, they were man eaters. They were taking people from camps and
Well,
stuff.
they were human eaters. We have to be PC.
Yeah.
Wait. Does it ever show someone
Like
who wasn't
that.
a male in the movie getting eaten by a lion?
I don't know, actually.
Do some research on that.
It's a
That's funny.
very extreme over exaggeration of the events.
Yeah.
But they have the actual lions that were.
And
that
what's
are
interesting
stuck
is the
there.
lions in the movie, they were male lions, but the actual man-eaters were
Female
female
lions,
lions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Two
His
female
name's
lions.
female
It's like that song by Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
I fucking love
But
Paul.
no.
She's they
But no,
edited
they
it. She's
have
a
like the
human eater.
T-Rex. They have the huge T-Rex skeleton.
Yep.
They have.
I want to go there. So
They have
bad.
a, no, but
Is it the one that,
So it's a whole
is it the one
trip
that
I'm
Leo
thinking,
DiCaprio
talking
was
about.
banging on?
yep.
Spend the night there.
Yeah.
Go to
I
the
believe so,
museum.
actually.
Go to
That'd
the
be
concert.
funny.
Yeah.
But no, when I went there, they had their exhibit that you couldn't take any pictures in was it was about the cave paintings from, there's these caves in the south of France or whatever, and they had a whole thing about the cave paintings and it was great.
Wow.
Did they actually have like the cuts of them there?
Well, they no,
Traveling, or-
but they had interactive like exhibits where you look like and you could see like there was like a 3D thing of like the caves, and you could like see where like all the different paintings were like along the cave walls, like where this shit was. And
Okay,
Oh,
that would
Alex,
be cool.
Alex, Nicolas Cage outbid Leo DiCaprio on the dinosaur skull. Never mind.
Jeez.
That was like years
Jesus.
ago, though, and I think it might have even
Wow.
got seized, but you know.
But yeah.
Probably did.
Yeah.
If it's
I did a
taxed.
bunch of, when I was in Chicago, I did a bunch of food shit and a bunch of store shit. Like, I went to Italy there, and, like, just to see, like, the range of fucking...
Dead in the middle of Little Italy.
Right? See, like, the range of shit. I did Chinatown. I had just
I never
the
made
most
it down to
awesome
Chinatown.
turkey. Oh, it's dope. It's dope. I like
It's
that.
I spent a lot of time in kind of in the hipster area and then downtown. I was only there for 3 days, so
Sure.
Oh god,
I
3
was there
days
for,
shit.
Yeah, right?
I was supposed to go there for a Nobu Uematsu concert, the dude who did the scores for the Final Fantasy video games. I didn't go. I had to wake up like way too early, and like in the morning I canceled.
Yeah.
That's with
Like
one
the
of my
morning
other
of,
friends.
because that'd be awful.
It was.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Did they replace you?
No, I don't know. I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care.
I don't care. The last thing we got to talk about for hippie hop, which is not really hip hop, but I listened to the Breakfast Club yesterday. What day is it? Saturday. So yesterday? No, Thursday. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
You
Okay.
listen to the Breakfast Club.
Yes. Michael Jackson's nephew Taj and his brother Marlon called into the Breakfast Club because of that documentary that came up about those kids talking about that. Yes, they were touched, but under oath they said that they weren't touched. So they're releasing a documentary where they only got their side of the
Yep,
story.
I was going to say they said it was kind of a one-sided
Yeah,
thing.
and the director of it said that he didn't want the message like watered down.
Oh,
so he only got their side of the story
Yeah.
and didn't ask any of the Jackson side.
Well, then you got to say the whole thing's like hypothetical, like this is like one side.
Yeah, but you know how okay, so anyway, this sheds some light on
Kind of
it.
taking advantage of the Me Too like thing, right? That if you're not giving both sides.
Yep, essentially.
Ultimately,
Oprah's doing an interview with the kid too.
this is kind of
Like,
like the Fox News of like where you get just one thing that they want you to hear and
Yep.
not any opposing.
It's going to be on
opinion.
Netflix too, I think, which is Netflix is
Like, how long were they
taking that.
working on this? Because I want to know if they just waited for a certain time to release it, where they thought it would have the most.
Yeah,
like,
see, I don't
the
know.
most,
had something
or
to say.
well, it's weird because I don't want to get into the realm of victim shaming or any of that shit like that, and I understand that that's not the view that we're trying to push, but when you put out something that's extremely pointed and one-sided like that, and you're following on the heels of the R. Kelly stuff, I'm wondering what the timing of this, what was going through the production
Exactly, that's what I
squad's
was
head.
trying to
Yeah, it seems like it seems like a very poor decision on their part to make this documentary, but maybe it will shed light on something. I'm not going to watch it personally, but
Well, especially,
who knows what will come of it.
especially considering they know that one dude lied about the entire thing, the first accuser or whatever, to
Yep.
finance his films. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that
Robin Hood
this
Men
is
in
the
Tights.
same thing, but
We'll see. We'll see
We'll
what
have to
comes
see what
of it.
happens. Yeah.
I don't
But-
ever want that level of fame, though. Like,
Yeah.
ever want that level of fame where
You
people
literally
are
wouldn't
like,
be able to go out at all because people would just freaking like find some reason to sue you. Or
He never
Right,
really
like-
did go out, I think, Michael Jackson.
yeah, but then don't
be a
have people
recluse.
over either.
Yeah, like, can't
He
have
only
people over,
went
can't go
outside
out.
to put out the laundry
Right.
over the belt.
There's that. There's
Almost
that.
like you'd rather have pay somebody to follow you with a camera to like film your side of everything that's
Right?
happening.
Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Or you just pay security to just rough anyone up that
Oh,
has a camera.
Jesus.
that comes in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't ever wanna be
Paparazzi
that
got
famous.
rights. I know they shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah.
Well, you just break their camera and give them a couple $100 or whatever, and then you're
Yeah.
good.
Wasn't it was it Keanu Reeves who like took a camera from one of them? Someone took a camera from one and like ran around the block a few times and then gave it back to him. Just, like,
Keanu?
it was somebody who did. I can't
That's
remember who it
crazy.
was. Who the hell was that?
Was the camera person mad, or were they
Yeah.
like, Keanu?
The thing is,
I don't know, I'm
a
trying to see
lot
what
of
it was.
people do
Okay.
weird stuff. So there's that weird Keanu
Because
thing.
Keanu's great. So.
Yeah, he is. There's a Marilyn Manson thing where if he got too annoyed of paparazzi taking pictures of him, he'd take lipstick out and write the word fuck on his forehead so they couldn't use any of the pictures or whatever in mainstream stuff. So they have that out. They have these like hoodies that are 3M that if it's nighttime and they take a picture with the flash, the 3M activates and it blurs out your face.
There you go. Keanu Reeves runs off with camera he stole from paparazzi. It's got like a picture.
Good.
That's awesome. See, I don't care because Keanu can do no wrong.
There's more pictures of it.
Yeah.
So like taking pictures as he was running.
Well, the guys, there's like people running after him. He must have known. Wonder if he's done it more than once, because that'd be amazing.
Maybe. But anyway,
that's great.
They called into the Breakfast Club. I'm going to paraphrase this whole thing. They suggested at one point, apparently Michael Jackson owned half of Sony's catalog at one point.
Ooh.
And here's the thing. This included the Beatles. Michael Jackson famously bought the Beatles catalog. Mm-hmm. He also, according to his nephew, he owned Beatles, he owned Oasis, and he owned even the James Bond theme song.
Jeez.
Yep. And here's the thing. They suggest he was murdered because the catalog would go back to Sony when he died, and that's exactly what happened.
People were talking about that.
So that was like,
too.
that was like a conspiracy that they brought up. Like the nephew brought it up, but the brother didn't like deny it, and I think he may have confirmed it, kind of. But they were talking about like how those kids are doing this documentary for money. Like the kid that did this has tried to do books before to try to get money, and interviews, trying to get money to do interviews, stuff like that. So who knows? We'll see when that pans out. But what I wanted to focus on is that the fact that he somehow owned half of Sony's catalog, and he was murdered because of the catalog. Went back to Sony.
The thing is, with that level of income, with that level of ownership in in an intellectual property or a creative thing, like that should shine light of how crazy the fucking music industry is, because you can write a song, you can understand who that song is about, you can understand the ins and outs of that song, but the second that you put it on record, it's someone else's. Like, that's fucking insane. I've never liked that aspect of the music industry. I think that if you come up with something great, you should be able to profit off that something great, and if it continues to roll into other things, or you have people that help you out in business, you should be able to dictate that. And a lot of people that are coming up from, hey, I'm a SoundCloud rapper and I got a deal now, they're all like, oh, wow, they can, give me all these advances and front me all this money, and, they're broken back out on the streets after their career fizzles out. Oh, yeah. So, like, I just don't like that shit.
I can you imagine the residuals like he was receiving for all that shit that he owned?
Oh, yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, he had to run his theme park at Neverland Ranch, my guy.
It's pretty sad, though. It's became like looking for like a reason to like sue and get money is like a thing like hardcore right now.
Yeah.
Like Trump literally, that guy who got punched in the face on like Berkeley campus or whatever, the Republican guy. Trump brings him out on stage at a thing just today, I think it was, or the other day. And he's like, "Oh, you're going to be a wealthy man," or something like that. Like, "Oh, sue him forever," or something like that. And I'm like, "What?" Like, literally the president's condoning people just suing people to get wealthy.
I guess.
I'm like, what the heck is going on?
And it's sad that that's not even the shittiest thing that he does. You know what I mean? Like,
he sues people to stay wealthy.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so in 2016, after announcing their intention to trigger their purchase option of Jackson's stake in the company, so he had a stake in Sony, apparently.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. 50%. Mm-hmm. Sony officially agreed to buy out Jackson's estate, full 50% of the Sony ATV for $750 million, making Sony the sole owner of the Lennon-McCartney catalog, as well as Sony's ATV's 750,000 songs.
Jeez.
So apparently they did legitimately buy it back from the estate after.
Okay.
But I think before Michael Jackson died, it says here in 2006, Sony negotiated a deal on Jackson's behalf to reduce loan payments on his debts, and as part of the negotiations retained an option to purchase the 50% of Jackson's 50% ownership of the future, which would give Sony 75% ownership of the catalog. Mm-hmm. So they initiated this thing like, yes, at some point we will be able to buy back the catalog, is what they did. And then when he died, they triggered it and they bought it back.
Yep.
So that doesn't sound to me like he was murdered. That was in 2006, 2016.
Well, if you kill him, there's no way he's gonna fight you for
That's
it.
debatable.
Yeah.
Sony hadn't been doing so hot as of late.
Well, they did retain the option to purchase 50% of his ownership from 2006.
Yep.
So why
So the option
they could have did it back then?
The option to purchase and then the final price of what he would have agreed on is two different things. Or the option to purchase with the set price already.
Okay, the catalog at that time in 2006 was valued around $1 billion, and if Jackson had gone bankrupt, his share in the company could have gone to auction in the proceedings that followed. In 2016, they bought it for $750 million.
So if he would have said, "No, I'm holding out for that Billy," you know what I mean? Like, he has that option there, but if he's not there, they can purchase it for whatever they convince the estate that it's worth.
Okay. I'm trying to see if McCartney or if the remaining Beatles did get
That's
there.
so fucking shady.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm seeing if McCartney did get the rights back to the Beatles songs.
I have no idea.
I think
Oh, man.
I know he was trying to purchase them back.
Sony
To
could have
get
deal with
back
it.
some shit that you created. That's fucking terrible.
I'll have to look that up some other
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
Hey,
that's...
Ye is fighting that fight right now.
He is.
Well, if
see what
Ye
happens,
ends up
but-
dead in 10 years, we'll know something's up.
Like, God forbid. Protect
Yeah.
yourself, yeah. Keep rocking out in the desert.
Yeah.
With the fucking... Oh, man, that video changed my life. Not
All right.
really.
Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up about hip-hop?
Yes.
Okay,
Start
go, shoot.
listening to Roddy Ricch. He's really good. Nipsey Hussle has... right?
That's Roddy right there.
Nipsey Hussle had a song with him, and it just came across when I was listening to other shit, and it's really good. It reminds me a lot of my brother. Like, his type of rap shit, the cadences, not necessarily the messages behind it, because my brother's better than him. But,
Fucking wrecked. Fucking
Right?
wrecked Roddy Ricch. Get
but
wrecked, dude.
he's good. He's good. I like to listen to Roddy Ricch. That was my new artist for the week.
So I haven't been doing the rap buffet. I haven't been listening to albums anymore because of our pre-announced plans of doing hopefully a separate show where we can actually spend more time discussing albums that we listen to.
Yeah.
So I haven't done any of that in the past couple weeks. But other than that, hopefully that comes out soon. Fuck it. We'll see.
Figure it out.
I mean, as soon as we get 10,000 subscribers. No, I'm kidding.
Figure it out.
All right, let's go on to gaming. So there's a lot
Yes.
that's been going on in gaming. Not too much that's important, but we'll talk about it anyway. The mainstay Pokemon game has been announced for the Nintendo Switch for 2019, and that's Pokemon Sword and Shield, announced for late 2019, which most likely means November or around Christmas time. This is going to be... There's a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee thing that was really weird.
I think that
It
was just kind of like a
re-release of
bridge kind of thing.
It was just
yeah.
in between.
re-releasing Pokemon Yellow and then
in a very simplified version of it.
it's kind of like Pokemon Go rules.
Yep. And they said they're bringing back normal encounters.
Yep.
So this will be a normal Pokemon game that you're used to, but it will be on the Nintendo Switch.
So is there any word on if they're trying to bridge the gap between Pokemon Go and this shit that they're releasing on Switch to like have some sort of...
I think that was kind of what the other thing
I
was.
think the
You
Let's
could
Go thing
transfer
was
your
wrong.
Pokemon back and forth in
Okay.
Let's Go
Yeah.
if you get far enough in the game.
Yeah, you could actually put your Let's Go Pokemon or Pokemon Go Pokemon into Let's Go.
Okay.
But the battling system, the encounter system, that game was just simplified, and it was.
You think that
I didn't get past. I beat Brock, I think, and then I stopped playing. Like,
You think
I
that
beat Lieutenant
You think
Surge.
that game was
All
just to try to take people who were exclusively playing Go and try to like get them more interested maybe in normal Pokemon and try to get them to buy this new game that's coming out?
and
all,
people who
yeah,
are normally
kinda
playing
staging
Pokemon to
Go
play
to Go.
Pokemon.
The
Yeah.
great thing,
That's
though,
Yeah.
the great
That's
thing
cool.
about a Pokemon game on Switch, different profiles, different save files. More than one person can have a save for
That's
Pokemon
pretty
on
cool.
that system.
Cool.
That is pretty cool. Because before you couldn't do that. You had to load up your Your one fucking file.
Oh, well, to be fair, you can just buy another cartridge.
To be fair.
Ooh.
Yeah, a whole another fucking cartridge
Wait a year.
for another save.
Wait a few
Over
years and
the
that's
game.
worth like $2, so just buy another cartridge.
Yeah. Pokemon Red and Blue, I think they're like $25.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be telling me that some of them weird,
They
like,
have to have a new battery.
them
put
weird
in
like
them.
crystal color things and stuff are still worth a ton.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't
What
know.
crystal color things.
I don't know.
There was
Whatever
another-
the games are like.
It's the ones that were after gold and silver that were just
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah, I'm saying
Okay.
you can't be telling me those are worth a ton, but I guess they could be.
Maybe it depends on how good they were. I'm
Well, it
sure.
was like
Nostalgia is
Pokemon
expensive
Crystal,
as
and then
fuck.
it was like
Yep.
Light and Dark, or
No, they had
Sun and
Pearl
Moon,
and all this
Yeah.
other
Pearl,
stuff.
Fire Red, Leaf
Yeah.
Green,
Yep.
something,
Omega
brass,
Ruby, and
silver,
Alpha
gold,
Sapphire.
platinum, titan,
The Omega Weapon.
titanium, unobtainium, Gundanium, Dragon Ball.
Prometheum.
Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Yeah, it was-
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Pokemon Unobtainium. But this is Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yep.
So hopefully that's exciting. I'm a huge Pokemon fan of Red and Blue.
I already saw somebody who said he was never going to get a Switch online say that now I got to get a Switch, and I'm like, oh
Well, hey,
gosh.
speaking of Pokemon, though, Detective Pikachu, they put out a second trailer for it. Did you
I'm
see
not
it?
going to watch the
I
second
didn't watch the
trailer.
second trailer.
I
yet.
want to be surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
No,
Is it
it's-
good?
It looks like it's going to be better than it did before. So yeah,
Same thing happened with Hellboy. I like the second trailer way more. than the
Hellboy,
first one.
I watched the Hellboy 2 trailer and I'm like, yeah.
I heard it's
Well, I
supposed
was
to
going
be
to watch the
gory.
first one.
I heard it's supposed to be gory. So
I want it
I'm, like,
rated
back
R.
in the arena.
Hellboy rated R sounds better.
It is art.
Detective
Yeah.
Pikachu's that rated R. That would be
That's
fun.
why I
Ryan
like
Reynolds,
PG-13 if you're
like-
lucky.
Yeah, like
yeah.
you see some chick like getting it on with a Mr. Mime or something, like, just
you
like
see
freaking
like
shit.
a Machamp just like got 4 arms. Just like,
Yeah,
Mr. Steal Your Girl or something.
yeah.
this guy walks up to your girl in the club and slaps her on the ass. What do you do? It's like back the fuck off.
Back the fuck off. All right.
shit.
Hopefully we get all of that Detective Pikachu.
Oh, actually, there's. Oh man, that trailer's so good because
Didn't give too much away, did it?
it gives. There's a major appearance in that trailer.
Then I'm not
that-
watching it.
So
I'm not-
Ash is there?
No.
No,
Professor
don't
Oak
say
is
it.
there?
No,
No.
no, I don't want to hear it.
Do you think it's like just super highlighting a cameo that's in there, or actually somebody has a
I
role
think it
in
might be a major plot point.
Don't tell
Oh,
me Stan Lee's
shit.
in the movie, because that's what's
Oh shit!
Don't tell me that Reggie's gonna be in the movie because he's retiring from Nintendo of America to just
Start his
be in
acting
that
career?
movie. Yeah, exactly.
All right,
It's like starting to put Stan Lee in non-Marvel movies.
that would be fun.
Wait, Stanley's
Jeez.
dead.
Yeah, they're just gonna
No
insert him
shit,
digitally.
Alex.
Digitally.
Digitally, no.
Yeah. Oh.
Imagine if they did that though. They did like that shit they did with Peter Cushing and
Yeah, that's what I'm
Rogue
saying.
One or whatever.
They just start digitally. Somebody claimed that the
Okay.
his cameo in Captain Marvel is gonna make you like almost tear up or some shit
Oh
or something.
no!
I'm not gonna want
Or
to
it's
see
gonna
that.
like, or it's gonna like,
soft.
it's gonna like get to you or something like that.
The Spider-Man game apparently had him in there, and it was pretty heart wrenching. I forget what he says in there, but yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
see you, space cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
shit!
what if he said that?
Oh shit!
Just
You think
drop
gonna come
tear.
in there, see you ungrateful shits? But
Single teardrop in there.
I don't even think it matters what he says. I think just seeing him make you just like nostalgia,
you're
like go like.
right
Yeah.
in the fields.
Stanley, great man, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the
R.I.P.
guy. R.I.P. Stanley. Let's move on from Pokemon Go. Pokemon. THQ Nordic. Yep, we're gonna talk about this. Ross knows all about it because he's a 4chainer. THQ Nordic is a game developer. They're responsible for, as a whole, they're responsible for Darksiders, the Red Faction series, the Warhammer 40k games, South Park, Stick of Truth,
I thought that was Relic.
Saints Row. What?
Didn't Relic do a?
THQ is like the parent company.
Oh, okay.
They're the umbrella. They're like an EA. They're responsible for a bunch of shit. They did an AMA, which is Ask Me Anything, on 8chan, which is a edgier and more child porn version of 4chan.
Oh snap!
And here's what happened.
I heard about that. The, it literally was some guy. It was a guy who used to go on 4chan said it wasn't like there was too much like rules and holding him back. So he made 8chan, like with like no rules.
Oh
Yep.
no!
And they did an AMA on this website, which was pretty much the dumpster of the internet.
Yep.
No, it's like the septic system of the internet. It's really bad. They even responded to some trolly inappropriate comments to the point where they had to release a public statement saying they don't condone child porn.
Yeah, I read some of the stuff.
Well, number
people were
one,
posting like Hitler memes and like stuff like
if
that.
you're a reputable company, what the fuck are you doing there? Go to Reddit or something.
And somebody said something to the effect of like, "We love how your games like you don't like conform to the social justice like crowd or whatever and stuff like that." And the guys all like, "We're proud of that." One of the guys that answered it or something. He didn't understand that the guy was literally saying
this was a very stupid employee that did this, who thought it would be funny probably that they did this, and that person's most likely fired.
I get it, but like
he was the promotional guy. Yeah, the guy who's like the promotional guy.
Okay, that's
but
awesome.
being the first is not being the best all the time. Being the first is not being the smartest all the time. So it's like we're the first to release this kind of thing on this platform. It's like that doesn't mean anything unless you're good at what you do it in the platforms.
It's a very bad website. It's
Picking
like,
your venue is important. Like,
it's like I'm trying to think of some funny comparison, but I can't come up with one.
it's like having parent-teacher conferences at a strip club or something.
Yeah.
So it's like pick a fucking venue that works. Don't fucking.
Right.
Yep.
That's a dumbass move.
So they're backpedaling pretty hard. There's a lot of backfire over it. So they did something stupid. Probably thought it was edgy. They would get the clicks. They got the clicks, but it turns out.
I guess the guy said something about that he was promised that they would keep that like the like bad posts like they would remove them or something like that during it, and I guess it didn't happen.
That wouldn't even happen.
The guy's like, nah, fuck it. Just let them all stay.
Like, wow.
So one of the examples was someone posted a picture of like scantily clad teens.
Oh boy.
And they're like, where are the lolies at? And then like the THQ responded, you got them right there. And they're like, so that's one of the inappropriate comments that they actually responded to.
Yep.
Which you're not probably supposed to give those people any credence when you're doing an AMA. You're the public face.
Exactly. If you're doing an AMA, you don't answer every question. You answer the ones that
matter. Right.
Like, that's just so... How do you make mistakes like that on that level? Because this is not...
It's either incompetence, MAGA, or both. I don't know.
He's definitely a Trump supporter. We'll say that right now.
Yeah.
THQ Nordic.
I was confused that I was gonna say, are they even in the U.S. THQ Nordic or?
I think they'd probably be in Scandinavia.
That's what I was expecting.
But it's a Swedish company that owns it. Is the parent.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I think THQ Nordic is directly responsible for Darksiders, but the umbrella as a whole owns all those IPs. I thought I might just bring it up because THQ is important. Not anymore, apparently.
Hard now.
So obviously, the moral of that story is probably don't do that.
Don't do that, man.
Don't post on child porn websites.
It's just like fucking go to Twitter and ask a question, or go to Reddit and fucking open up your own thread. Like fuck.
Or fucking.
Who did you think you were
something.
reaching? I guess is what I was saying.
That's what I was. Yeah. What is your core crowd that you're trying to release this game to? And it's
probably some social media manager that they hired that's like, I'm gonna be edgy, I'm gonna talk to all the fucking...
Well, if he's answering stuff like the way he was there, it almost sounded like he was trying to be like edgy, like you were saying.
Yeah, he's trying to be like the Wendy's Twitter account.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
He's not trying to be like the Wendy's Twitter account, he's trying to be like all those Kekistan fuck shitters that... The fucking... Have you seen those fuckers on 4chan that post the fucking frog meme? The fucking... the white nationalists and shit.
Pepe the Frog.
That's what he's trying to do.
And it's like
the alt-right meme or whatever it's called. Pretty much.
The guy's basically alt-right, but European, which
because I think the meme itself is like racist, pretty much, or like
he's the guy that's pro Brexit. Like pretty much.
Don't even get me started on how Brexit was just some 1%er propaganda to like make it so that they don't have to use Europe's labor laws in Britain.
Who knows? We'll see.
Holy shit.
We'll see about that. We're not getting into that.
Why?
We're not getting into Brexit.
I thought it.
Ross, bring up the next one.
Who's that?
Wait, what were you gonna say?
Oh, so I heard that apparently like some company bought like some Sonics in like some state like Ohio or something like that, and instead of paying the minimum wage, they switched to that where the employees at the Sonics was like, I think it was like 8 Sonics. They were going to pay him $4 an hour plus tips. And they're
What?
like, people don't tip at fast food. It's like, what the hell?
And guess what happened to those 3 Sonics?
There was a total of like 6 or 8 of them, but 3 of them, all the employees quit.
The entire staff quit
Yep.
and left.
Wow. The thing is, like, that whole dynamic is crazy. Again, I'm on my soapbox. Why the fuck do I have to pay you to work at a restaurant? Like, why doesn't the restaurant pay you?
Well, the tipping system is archaic, and it was specifically during an era in America. I believe it was during... When did they come up with that shit? Probably like Depression era or something like that, tipping. I can't remember. It's some specific thing. I can look it up, but fuck it. But they just kept the system because the profits are greater that way.
Basically,
And now
what
it's
it-
like...
It basically
what
makes
it
so that the
means-
company doesn't have to pay the employee.
The company
Yeah.
doesn't pay the employee.
Technically,
exactly.
but legally in most states, if you do not make up to minimum wage, including your wage plus tips, the company that you work for has to give you
The
the
difference.
difference. But here's the thing. They all say, like, everything I've seen on forums, on Reddit, from waitresses doing AMAs and
that
stuff.
just means the company gets to know your tips, which is even more like fishy to me. But
Well,
Yeah.
the government technically is supposed to know that too.
Yeah.
Because you gotta allegedly put them on your
I
tax
mean, the
returns.
government should know, but I don't know if the person who's paying you should know how much you're getting tipped.
Well,
That might directly affect how much they decide to pay you. They might lower your.
Well, they have to know to see if
Yeah.
you're lying about making the wage difference too. That's why a lot of them collect
the
all the
government know
tips
and tell
and
the
split them
employee.
evenly amongst the employees.
Yeah.
That's
But here's the thing: all the waitresses said if you bring this up to the employer, they will schedule you less.
Yep.
And they'll eventually because there's no law against that.
Yep.
They'll eventually just push you out to the point where you quit because it's a revolving door industry. Everybody thinks of waitressing, hosting as a stepping stone job where you simply work it while you're in college
I
to
guess
get
it
a
really
better
depends
job.
on who's working, like where you're working though, because I knew people who were making like super bank on tips, like at like restaurants.
Like
or how
strippers.
good, or how good
Jesus.
or
Yeah.
you know that if a lot of people in the neighborhood know you or whatever,
Well,
but like they're-
Well, yeah, now the company, they started sharing the tips so that it subsidizes more of the workers' pay. Right?
Yep.
Like I guess Famous Dave's like used to like I knew people who like used to get just tons
Like
of
if they
money on
pay
tips
someone
there.
$4 plus tips, and let's say they make $20 worth of tips, right? Now, let's say give them $8 worth of those tips and split the 12 between the rest of the employees. They're paying everyone less now. They're saving money.
Yeah.
So
That's
It's-
so fucking that's sketch.
Okay, so I'm just reading some off an article. Let me find a
it's
better
called
article.
greed, is what it is, and that's endgame capitalism. So when libertarians say they don't understand taxes or that capitalism's the only way, it basically means they're greedy fucks.
I like the meme
like
that's
that.
going around where it's like
That's
there's like
insanely
it's
direct.
like, oh, there's 8 people that have this much wealth, but I can't talk bad about them because I want to be one of those people one day or something like that.
Yeah, and it's
or
like
something to that effect.
The funny part is it's like this, like, right? So there's a what do you call it? There's a rich person, a working class person, and an immigrant, right?
Yep.
Sitting at a table.
Yep.
They put 1,000 cookies on the table. The rich person takes 999 of them and tells the worker he wants to take your cookie.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That was a good one. I saw that. I was like, holy
It's
crap.
it's the truth, though, if you
Yeah.
really
Yes.
think about it.
yeah. I definitely agree.
I'm
All
currently
the-
still trying to look it up.
Like all of history, if you
Keep
look
going.
at history, all of history is class struggle.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like whether
sure.
I mean, if you look at it through a Marxist lens, like slave owners, that was the ultimate form of capitalism, free labor. I mean,
thing
like,
is,
it's all of it.
we've evolved to a point
class
where the
struggle.
government is like smart enough to like avoid being taken out because of it, though.
Do just enough to
Yeah,
not get
exactly.
taken out.
It's to that
Yeah.
point.
All right, figured it out. Found it out, boys.
Figure it out.
Until the 20th century, Americans viewed tipping as inconsistent with the values of egalitarian democratic society. Also, proprietors regarded tips as equivalent to bribing an employee to do something that was, this is Wikipedia, that was otherwise forbidden, such as tipping a waiter to get an extra large portion of food. I do that all the time. The introduction to prohibition in 1919, which I was close with the Depression, had an enormous impact on hotels and restaurants who lost the revenue of selling alcoholic beverages. The resulting financial pressure caused proprietors to welcome tips as a way of supplementing employee wages. Contrary to popular belief, tipping does not arise because of servers' low wages, because the occupation of waiter-server was fairly well paid in the era when tipping became institutionalized. In spite of the trend toward tipping as obligatory behavior, 6 states, mainly in the South, passed laws that made tipping illegal. So that's a thing, essentially. So that's how it started. Yeah. It was to supplement income because they were making less on the wages of alcohol. So they came up with tipping because we can't pay our employees enough because we don't make enough profit. You guys please tip to help them.
But they're saying when it first came around that employees, it wasn't because employees weren't making enough that they were doing the tipping.
It's because the restaurants
But eventually that became the thing where they're like, oh, well, as long as they're making enough on their tips, we don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
So it evolved into something greedy.
Yeah, it's
greed. Yeah, for sure.
It's moving from an earlier stage capitalism to late stage capitalism.
Libertarian would get a hard on when they hear gratuity. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
That has to be the tagline of this episode.
A libertarian will get a hard on when they hear gratuity, but they're like, well, someone else will pay it. It's just like fucking, why do I have to pay into fucking Medicare when fucking why don't charities just do it? Why don't people go to charity?
I personally,
it's like fucking, okay, are you gonna donate to charity? No.
Yeah. I personally fucking hate tipping. I have not tipped before in the past. People don't like me when I don't do that, so now I try to tip even though I despise it and don't want to, but socially you have to, or people hate you.
Well, even if I get bad service, I still tip just because I know that they're getting fucked.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Why? It's just restaurants and then people that provide an odd service. Like, it's like a masseuse, a hairstylist, someone who fucks with your fingernails and toenails, and waitresses. Why? Why not
bartenders?
Why not your mechanic?
My mechanic.
Why not a fast food employee that hands you fries from behind the counter?
Why not my mechanic? Because they're already charging you probably like $70 to $100 an hour for labor.
Extra.
That's why you're not fucking gonna tip them.
But what about
some parts?
But what about anything else? What about the fast food employee that makes minimum wage like a waitress would, and then they bring the trays out to you even, or they provide a service?
Yeah.
Like, think of anything that provides a service. Why do they not deserve the tips?
Because people
in restaurants
because fast food people are below those people.
Wow, dude. Wow, you're going there.
Let him have a lane.
I'm not saying that because I believe it, Bryce. I'm saying that because that's what a lot of people believe.
Yeah.
That fast food is at the bottom of the barrel.
Anytime they talk about fast food getting paid more, everyone's out in full force saying they don't deserve shit. They mess up my order sometimes. They don't deserve shit.
It's like it's their first job. That's only supposed to be for high school kids anyway. They don't need to get paid $20 an hour.
That's my favorite. I guess everybody's supposed to work fast food and then eventually bridge to something more worthwhile. It's like there aren't enough jobs that are worthwhile to have everyone do that.
Like there's there's some sort of pipeline between fast food and CEO.
Yeah.
No.
The difference between a CEO and a fast food worker is the fucking the fast food worker is getting paid $10 an hour to fucking basically keep track of fucking everything and do it all within a timely manner.
Yeah.
Whereas CEOs
McDonald's, I think, is the only one that
operate
pays
on whatever calendar they fucking want to.
I don't know in Minnesota what is the minimum right now.
$9.86.
$9.86.
So it's close to 10. Yeah. It's close to 10.
I think Walmart's starting at 11 or something like that. And I think McDonald's
making afford way more.
McDonald's is the same. They're paying at least $10.50 or $11.
Yep.
Yeah, McDonald's for fast food is the hiest paying one, I believe. But I need to rant.
Walmart won't give you a full-time schedule. Though,
here we go. I need to rant.
All right, rant.
Go ahead.
First off, for high school workers, this is their job. Incorrect. Summer jobs are for people who go to school, you stupid fucks. Not fast food. Fast food, even at a McDonald's, is a 24/7 job. 24-hour drive-through windows.
Hey, Bryce.
That is a normal job. What, Ross?
Speaking of Walmart.
No, I got more to do.
I'll let you finish, though.
I got more to do.
I'm just setting that up.
I worked at Burger King and Wendy's before, and it shows. Dude, I snuck nuggets. Don't get me wrong. But I worked at Burger King when I was 15. That was for $5.15, I believe, an hour. And when I worked at Wendy's, our minimum wage was like $7 something at the time, I think. $7.25 maybe. There's no chance for improvement. Raises are pretty much non-existent. You cannot receive full-time because then your employer would have to pay you benefits. Yep. So you work 35 hours because the cutoff is 40 hours for full-time.
Now you would end up working 29 and a half hours a week because 30... If you average 30 a week throughout the year, they have to offer you health insurance.
Thanks, Obama.
So when thanks Obama. So when I worked there, I believe 40 was full time. Or what was full time back when I worked there? I think it was like 35 or something. So either way, like 40 is full time. People think, but then at fast food they have you work 35, and you're not considered full time. You're considered part time. Yep. Your shift changes every single week. Your shift is bi-week. You're lucky if it's by month, but that's if you have a very good manager and people actually exist there. It's a revolving door industry. There's literally a person who would probably quit at least once a week. You'll have an employee leave and be replaced. Sometimes, some places, it's every single day. You'll have an employee quit, and because you have so many employees working full time and your schedule flip flops so much, you have so many floats. So the revolving door industry, if someone quits every shift, you have people to replace by the time you get your next like struggling 18-year-old with an attitude issue.
Didn't you say that
you got so many
if you
people
were gonna hit over the hours, they just sent you home?
They sent you home, yeah. Like if the manager forgot or properly kept track, they'd be like, Bryce, you gotta actually go home. I scheduled you
too many hours.
I scheduled you too much, so you gotta go home.
And these managers, are they salary?
The managers make extremely more than the actual employees.
They make a couple bucks an hour and get benefited, but other than that,
when I was working there, I was working for $7.25, but a manager, which there was only 2, I believe, and then the district manager, you would have maybe there's 3 managers. They made like $12 an hour at the time, so the jump for that was pretty much the only reason to work fast food is to become a manager. Otherwise, there's no point working there because it's minimum wage, and minimum wage is trash, depending on your state. Yeah.
It's more trash in some than others.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're responsible for everything and anything. I knew every single position, and I was put wherever I was needed multiple times in a shift. In between those shifts, you got to make sure everything's clean. So I would be flipping burgers. No, now I need to make sandwiches. Okay, sandwiches are slowing down. Now you need to work the drive-through. Drive-through slowing down. We only got one person in front on the registers. It's the dinner rush. Now you got to work front registers. Then you got to go out while you're doing front registers and make sure you clean the bathrooms at the appropriate times in your downtime. Clean all the tables off of people who leave their shit. You'd have to bring food out when you're swamped. Say, we'll bring that to your table, and you go bring that to them.
I'm sure it was even better in the winter when someone had to go out and shovel and do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yep, you would have to, depending on where you work. Some have a company that will come and do it, but you'd have to go shovel the drive-through. You got to go pick up cigarette butts in the parking lot and stuff. And go. You essentially did. You were a jack of all trades, but you did minimum wage. Yep. You had to know every position. You would switch multiple times, probably in a shift. You would have to know everything, be able to switch. It was this is a industry where you need every person to get their food in 30 seconds. Yeah. Every single meal they want you to get it in 30 seconds. If it takes longer than 30 seconds, you fucking did bad.
My question to you is, in that industry, was there transferable skills where you can be like, well, at least I learned how to do this?
Oh my God. I learned how to be angry and opinionated. I can work a mop. I can work all the...
You can wear a headset.
I can wear a headset.
You can work the flat top grill.
Work the flat top grill.
So basically you
make sandwiches.
You learn how to perform these tasks under stress. Yeah. And that's what people like. I think that's what the argument is. And I offered that question to Bridget to this. People are like, but you get so many transferable skills. You learn how to multitask. You learn how to this, and this. And it's like,
I can learn that doing anything.
Right. How many years do you have to spend getting shit on to learn these transferable skills for you to try to go get a higher level job that's more than entry level, for them to tell you that's not directly experienced, so we don't give a shit about those transferable skills. So it's basically spinning your tires in minimum wage until you
pulling
can jump over to
yourself up
something
by your
else.
bootstraps.
It said that I read a thing that said
bullshit.
that millennials don't want to do unpaid like internships or anything. So that's like starting.
Why
to,
would they fucking?
Yeah,
do
they're
that?
like, they're like,
called
yeah,
slavery.
they're like refusing, and then it's like angering like the ones who are like run
Well,
things.
apparently we're doing that. We're killing Harley Davidson. Can't hold down jobs for more than X amount of time at a time.
If you look at the actual math, millennials spend more time at the same job than boomers did. It's just that they have a confirmation bias.
Yeah.
And plus, like, it's your job as a company to keep employees there. Don't blame your employees for not staying there.
Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, you could work as a janitor, own your own house, car, have a couple kids, be married, whatever. Nowadays, you can't even fucking pay for a one-bedroom apartment if you're a janitor.
And if you do own a house, they just released this stuff that says millennials. It says 2/3 of millennials who own houses like regret buying a house.
Yeah.
And
That's 30 years.
The number that was even better was it said that 35 and under, only like maybe 30-some% of them own a house.
Well, you have to with the prices today, to buy a house, you have to be, if you're single, you have to be extremely well off, or you have to have a significant other splitting the bills, otherwise you're not getting a house.
And then
as
two,
a millennial.
what they're not looking at is if you invest in buying a house is an investment.
Yep.
If you invest in buying a house and 2/3 of your income is going to that house, that's not really, you're not diversifying your investments enough to actually make it worth your money to buy a house.
Well, these days, millennials,
It's the point where it's like save for retirement or buy or own my house and just sell that when I
and when you could take a loan against your retirement to get a fucking house.
Yeah,
It's like, well, nowadays, pretty much millennials, they're just living to exist, essentially, like paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
But let me go back to the transferable skills. It's always going to be customer service for fast food. That's the best thing you could take out of it.
Yeah.
But imagine doing all these jobs, all this work, and you are getting yelled at while you're doing it, not only by your coworkers, your manager, but also the customers. Like, imagine, it is so... There's not a shift where a customer doesn't yell.
I would never do it.
Yeah, it's
I already
hard
said
shit.
that. I would never do it.
It's really difficult. And if you are not capable of keeping up and doing good, you get scheduled less. You'll get, so not only do you need a job and you are trying to make a living, if you cannot keep up, they do not want to get rid of you because you're needed when X person quits that shift or before. They call you because you're only scheduled 2 days a week because you're shit.
You're 10 hours a week, but when someone quits,
you gotta throw you in.
Yeah, you're next bud.
And you're not full time when they schedule you for those 20 extra hours, so you're still good.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Until
go.
they hire another person, then you're back down to 10. But
I have one of the worst job histories of anybody you could ever talk to, but with that comes experience. I would say is essentially I've worked everywhere in every type of industry, essentially.
That's pretty good.
And I will tell you right now that fast food is the most difficult job I've ever worked, and that includes debt collections, retail, any type of warehouse work, manufacturing,
Shit, you did
data
taxi driving?
entry, taxi driving.
Yep.
Did you do agricultural stuff?
Technically I have, but not as like an actual job. So I've done that. I mean, I've even done Golden Plump chicken barns.
Yep.
Back in the day.
That sounds filthy.
It was. There's a lot of chicken shit. There's a lot of chicken
Whoa,
filthy,
it's Pilgrim's
man.
Pride now.
Wait, really?
They still go
Really?
under Golden Plump. I think they still use the
oh,
name.
No,
I
the
think,
moniker.
I think
But
so.
I will tell you now that if there's an employee that I would think, well, because I'm biased because I've worked there, but that means I have the experience and know about of the industry. I would say that that if anybody deserves the $15 wage increase for fast food, it is fast food. Like, that's the most difficult job I've ever worked, the most stressful by far.
Well, it's stressful. You're not getting shit for hours. What is 15 an hour going to really do for you?
Even if I got $15 an hour for fast food, I still wouldn't want to work fast food.
Exactly.
Like the amount of shit you do at the fastest pace possible, but it has to be good because the health inspector's coming. So if everything's not spick and span every single second, it's not that bad. But every single day, like, you get yelled at.
Yep.
You get yelled at by customers. The sheer amount of volume of customers you receive is way more than what you would get working retail, walking around at a convenience store.
I dodged a bullet on that, man.
And this too. Shouts out to mom and dad. I never had to go through that fast food shit. I worked customer service at a department store when I was younger. Okay, so if you raise the wage to $15 an hour, fast food is going to be so expensive that no one can afford it. How do we respond to that?
Oh, I even did healthcare. I worked at a bingo place actually too.
But
Viking Coke. I worked there.
Yep.
you can't say names. Bleep that. No.
I've worked literally.
I was 2 hours away from working at McDonald's. They called that like 2 hours after the place I worked at.
Nice.
Yep.
But
go ahead.
But with the $15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
That would make fast food too expensive to afford. How do we respond to that?
It's not.
Like, prove it.
The profit margins for fast food is we'll think of Wendy's is probably, aside from Burger King and Wendy's, are struggling the most, I would say.
They do all that fresh shit.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult. McDonald's is definitely the most successful. Their profit margins have to be through the roof.
Doesn't McDonald's,
but Wendy's and Burger King are struggling.
McDonald's own a lot of their own stuff? That's why, like, they don't have to buy from distributors and stuff. It's all made. They
have everything.
Yeah.
And they also own Starbucks, don't they, or Caribou Coffee or some shit too?
They might own a different place.
Yeah, they own other shit.
They had Chipotle. At first,
it costs like 10 cents to make a burger or something like that. Is what they figured it out.
It also depends if you're corporate or franchise as well too.
Right.
Yep.
That's a big thing as well because franchise will own like the 4 McDonald's in your area.
Yep.
Corporate is a completely different story. I worked franchise for both, so it's a different story than corporate. But I'm sure the profit margins can handle the $15 an hour for sure. Because essentially the thing with fast food is you need to figure out a way to simplify things, make it less stressful, and make your employees stay longer. Because as soon as your employees stay longer, you don't have to hire as many people.
You don't have to spend as much money on training people.
Exactly. Because training people every single week is a big deal. You're paying these people to come in for a few hours, then they leave, and then they work 2 days, then they leave, and it's like, well, fuck, we wasted time and $100 on you. Now we got to go to the next person.
And then
I was a security guard as well. Keep going.
Holy shit. And then too, like, if it did raise the price of fast food, people would actually have to look at healthier options too.
At that point, you could probably afford the healthier options if you were getting $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
But
take care of more than one thing is what.
But even with $15 an hour, if you're working somewhere where you have health care, or you have to pay health care out of pocket, or through your company or whatever, they take it out of your check, healthcare, dental, vision, 401k. You're still the rent for an apartment. Like you're still going to be stretching it. Yeah. Like with an apartment for being single, everything's easier when someone loves you.
You have to get a roommate. You either have to have a roommate or be married, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah. And getting a house, like a house is not that much more expensive a mortgage, I would say, than getting an apartment. It's the fact that you need $20,000 to $30,000 down on your house, and that's where people struggle.
And you need to also you just need to have a few people pay rent to you throughout the month.
That's the way things are right now.
And then too, like you also, if you're owning that house versus being in an apartment, if if you're in an apartment and your heat shits out on you,
Oh, shit.
we're running pretty close. If
Yep.
you're in an apartment and your heat
About
shits
7
out on you,
minutes.
it's somebody else's problem.
Maximum.
When you're in a house owning it, it's your problem. You have to pay for that shit. So
If you're renting a house, it's the landlord's
That's
problem. So there
right.
you go. Yeah.
So that's why people rent versus buy. But in summation, does anyone else have anything else they'd like to bring
See,
to
is
the
there
table?
anything else we need to bring up?
We got a couple things that we can brush through quick.
Yep, sounds good.
Nike is making jerseys for an esports team. That's new and kind of interesting.
Yep.
It's making esports more legitimized, and I believe they're on ESPN now.
Is it China or Korea? I can't remember.
I don't.
thought
We're
they said
we're just
China.
brushing
Yeah.
through
I
it.
think
We're
they're
not,
making it for like the whole region or something.
okay, is it on ESPN though now? Esports.
I don't think so.
Okay, not yet. So it's not as legitimized, but it's getting there. Captain Marvel next week. I'm personally stoked. We'll probably do a review on that once we see it or once I see it. Walmart greeters are currently getting the axe,
Finally getting
Which-
what I was
Oh
saying.
man.
which was a pretty useless job, but it gave people with disabilities a place to work, which was an amazing thing that Walmart's done, even though they're predatory and evil.
Yeah.
It was great, but now they're getting the axe, so that's struggle. So that's a big struggle for those people that work there.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers wants a repeat of Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt sci-fi hit Edge of Tomorrow. And that's going to be great. That's a really good sci-fi film. They're making a sequel to that. That's going to be fucking great. Alex has to work today. He doesn't get off until 4. Steven Spielberg doesn't want Netflix to get Oscars anymore.
There'll be more on that next week.
Next week we'll talk about that. Fortnite is stealing the respawn feature allegedly from Apex Legends. We'll talk more on that next week too. Maybe unless you're too bored and we put you to sleep. Does anybody have anything they want to say before we let him go?
Horace did nothing wrong.
I think
Horace did
I
nothing
think
wrong.
they said that they Fortnite floated the idea a while ago of respawn, but now they think they're actually going to go through with it.
Okay, I don't care if they stole it because I mean it's
we
been
gotta,
a game.
we
of
gotta
probably
get
saw it
some,
in
we
another
gotta get
game,
some
we're like,
market
we
share
didn't get
back
that
from
out.
this
Yeah.
other
All right,
game.
what time is it? We have to go. We will catch you next week. You stay there. You do stuff that you're supposed to for YouTube stuff, so we keep making more content, and we'll catch you next time.
So you.
Oof.